G'day guys, welcome to Dream Design Do TV with Zaki Ameer. I'm your host Peter Montgomery from the petermontgomeryshow.com. Once a week we ask Zaki a question about property investing, and the thing is with Zaki, he's done this amazing thing where he's created a $3 million property portfolio in the space of 3 years with 15 properties, and he did this with a low startup capital. So welcome to the call this week, Zaki.
G'day, Peter.
Now, Zaki, I understand that, there's a lot of people that sort of speculate on, what's going to be the next boom city for investing in property and all that sort of thing. Just want to get your view on hotspots or not to hotspot sort of thing. So could you just talk a bit about that for us, please?
Yeah, I guess I'll give an explanation about hotspotting. It's basically researchers out there and analysts out there predicting or speculating based on data they have obtained about which the next, for example, group, growth suburb or growth city or growth town in terms of real estate it's going to be. So it's like saying, okay, maybe we recommend a particular town in New South Wales that's about to boom due to mining or industrial or infrastructure improvement, and then getting into that town before everyone does do that. So do I recommend hotspotting? The answer is like with everything else, yes and no. Yes, to the point is that it's important to understand what's going on in an area, what's happening in a town, whether it's here or interstate. And what I would look at is, in terms of anyone looking at investing in areas, is basically saying what type of infrastructure is going into that area in terms of roads, transportation, schooling, Woolworths, Bunnings, McDonald's. Any large infrastructure organizations that are going into a particular area would normally mean that those large organizations would have done their own market research before actually investing their time and money in a particular area. So if you do find areas that are new and are having all of this infrastructure and growth organizations, large organizations are going in, I would view that as a positive sign of a growth city. However, at the same time, I don't want it to be over-reliant on brand new towns or brand new cities that are merely created because of temporary growth. And what do I mean by temporary growth is, for example, a mining town or a coal mine or any other resource boom town. As much as, yes, it's correct, you probably would make maybe a lot of money in terms of growth and high rental yields by going in at the beginning. What's important to know is that whether you're getting in when the growth has already hit the top and you're buying at the premium. And the other question to ask is, how long is the growth going to sustain? Is this a town or is this an area that is going to continue lasting for the next 50 to 100 and so on years? Or is this a town that when the resource is over is going to become a ghost town? So do I buy in high growth areas? The answer is probably not. And when I say high growth, means like new towns due to resource booms. I would rather go for an area that does have high growth, but also researched by market data, which means there's enough sufficient historical data for me to look back into to say whether these properties are going to go up in price. What value am I buying these properties? Am I overpaying, underpaying? And some of these might be missing if you're going into new areas because there's not sufficient historical data. So the answer is yes and no, or with a pinch of salt. So basically, look at what's going into that area, find out whether you're at the top of the market, how long is the market going to last for, or maybe even just purchase in an established area. But that's some of the research I do anyway for my clients, to find out these particular information before we go investing into a particular area.
So from what I understand then, what you just said is it's really best to understand the market that you're about to go into. Would that kind of be like a fair summary?
Yeah, that's it. It's important to understand what you're getting into, do your research, and at the same time make sure that this is not a temporary growth area where you might win and another person might lose. So I only recommend situations where everyone's winning in the long term.
Excellent, man. Excellent. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Peter. See you then.